What's up, everybody? Hoping everybody can actually hear me this time and I don't have to fix my audio. Anybody that's in here so far, do you hear me? So I don't have to wear my headset this time. I think I got it fixed. What's up, Cyclone? How's it going? Do you hear me? Awesome. I don't have to wear my headset this time, so that's a plus. What's up, Black Sheep? What's up, everybody? So today was just kind of a little chat time. I hadn't done a little live here in a while, and I figured kind of let you guys know some updates and chat about the new tracks. This, of course, everybody's chatting about, and I want to get everybody else's thoughts on this thing. Chad's packed up at the moment, and all you guys will get to see this coming up here. We got some really fun stuff coming up, guys. Tomorrow, I'm heading out to Ohio and meeting up with RC for Us and Black Sheep RC, and we're going to do a big kind of collaboration video, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be hitting a BMX park up there, and RC for Us, Mike told me there's a huge skate park up there that I'm really excited to go hit. So there should be some really fun videos coming up here soon. What's up, Kansas City? Jeremy, how's it going, buddy? But yeah, Kenny, I can't wait, man. This is going to be a blast. I'm sitting at home because I'm kind of stranded at home at the moment. My truck's getting inspected right now, so I can't go anywhere. All my cars are fixed. All my batteries are charged. So I figured it'd be a good time to hop on here and say hello to everybody. So first and foremost, guys, one of the other big changes we first wanted to kind of chat about here. As a lot of you guys know, I had about 4 or 5 months ago, whatever it is, I had left. It's kind of mixture between RC stuff, personal stuff, and some things going on with me at the moment. And I know Kenny knows a little bit. But first and foremost, I had left the television world, which is where Bars and Tone, the name and everything kind of started and created from. And I left that kind of wanting to try out something else and get into something new. And I got into the robotics and working on those. Got in there for a while, and things didn't quite pan out the way that I kind of hoped, and I wasn't happy. My heart and my love is in television. I've always enjoyed it. Travel can get really rough and be not so much fun sometimes. But anyway, long story short, I'm starting back in television again. I'm going back to what I was been doing for the last 13 years. This coming Wednesday, I'm actually heading to Atlanta for my first show again. So definitely excited about that. Looking forward to getting back into, what I enjoy. The part of being home every day and home every night in my own bed was kind of nice. But at the same time, so much of my life for so many years has been built around that type of schedule and that life. And changing it, it was kind of nice being home. But at the same time, it was weird. And I'm kind of honestly looking forward to, getting back out there and traveling. So that's the first thing. So Bars and Tone is Bars and Tone. The name is not a fraud. Thank you, Black Sheep. I appreciate it, buddy. The next thing, hopefully this is nothing. I don't know what is. So anyway, long story short, it's really gonna be a long story short, but so about, 6 months ago, I started getting this weird lump on the back of my arm. I thought it was some sort of, like a cyst or some sort of pimple type thing, or I forget the other name for it. But anyway, it started getting there and it started to annoy me, and it actually started, raising up the skin a little bit. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go to the dermatologist. Get this thing removed because I thought it was nothing. I had my first visit with them. Said, all right, yeah, we'll go ahead and take it out. It should be no problem. So I went in there. I went the next day to have it removed, and they cut open an incision about that long. You guys can see a lot of it's healed now, but they cut me open. Started to try to remove it, And all of a sudden, the doctor paused and said, I can't take this out. This isn't what we thought, and it's a tumor. So obviously, they took a sample of it. They took a piece of it away, and they're getting it sent away to find out what it is. I was supposed to have test results sometime this week to find out what it is. Obviously, if it's a cancerous tumor or if it's not. So I'm still waiting for results, and that's probably the most nerve-wracking part. Is I'm sitting here just in limbo, and I hate gray areas, guys. I mean, it's one thing in my life. I hate gray areas. I hate not either doing or not doing something or not knowing something, and it drives me crazy. I'm sure it drives lots of people crazy. So I'm just sitting here waiting for that at the moment. So that's kind of what's going on with that. I guess for what they told me is that if it's not cancerous, that they will go ahead and just take it out and remove it and be done with it. Obviously, if it is, that's going to get into who knows what. I don't know what they'll entail. They said, obviously, I'd have to go in for more extensive operation and be put under and have that taken out and all that good stuff. So let's hope it doesn't get to that. My hopes are high. I mean, I know it's kind of a weird place. That's one thing a lot of people said. It's kind of a weird place to get something like that. But I kind of started doing. I obviously did a little research. That's one thing I have tried to do is stay off of the internet on searching. What it could be, what it is, because I tell you what, you start looking up WebMD and all this other weird stuff. All you're going to do is lead yourself down a rabbit hole of just goofiness. I appreciate that, Black Sheep. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, guys. I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to get on it. I'm just kind of, I try to keep everybody, especially all you guys that come in here and join the live stream, are usually the guys that are, on the channel regularly and kind of keep you guys up to date what's going on. So if anything were to start getting weird, obviously that's why. So, but I'm hoping, at some point over the next couple of days at the beginning of next week, at least I'll get an answer. And when I do, I'll update everybody, just let everybody know what's happening. Because obviously I would like to know and get that part off my mind. But anyway, enough of any, bad type of news. So yeah, thank you, Alan. I appreciate it, buddy. So what's the damage report on the Creighton? On the new XL, she's fixed again. After that Flatlander, that just was I set that ramp up in a way that I figured there's no way I'm going to shoot that far off to the right and land. It's already only a 3-foot wide little path. What are the chances of hitting it? Of course it did anyway. As you guys seen in that video, it left a stamp mark in the blacktop. And don't worry, if there's a will, I will have something put out to everybody, and I'll send out, I'll distribute my batteries and cars to everybody. It's a weird thought, I guess sometimes when things like this, I know we're getting diverted again. Oh, hold on. We'll finish up the Creighton XL. So what's up, Jeremy? How's it going, buddy? So when that thing flat landed, it blew apart the bulkhead front cover, blasted that thing, split it in half, miscellaneous other things. And I thought I had it all back together again. Well, all of a sudden the hubs were wobbling like crazy. The rear hubs on the thing had a ton of play in them. What's up, Tegrity? What's going on, man? So I started pulling it apart and realized, I think whenever it landed, it actually put enough pressure on that pin and the rear hubs that it stretched the plastic out because both of them had a ton of play in them. So the day before, I replaced the rear hubs, the rear hub bearings, because the one was actually had a weird notch spot in it, which it must have damaged the bearing when it landed. So I replaced the rear hubs, replaced the bearings in the back end, and then also whenever I pulled that off to do that, I also realized that it split the rear A-arms right at the hinge pin. It actually forced it down. That thing must have had a ton of pressure on that thing to do that. So it was definitely a nasty landing. What is up, RC Thrift? What's up, Mikey? We were just chatting. Can't wait for tomorrow, buddy. But Anyway, guys, so yeah, so the Creighton XL is all back together again. She's 100%, and I'm going to take it with me tomorrow whenever I meet up with Black Sheep RC and RC for Us. Like I said, guys, and you guys just joining in, we're meeting up. We're going to do a big video together at the BMX track and a huge skate park that is real close to Mike, apparently, from RC for Us. He's going to be our escort for the day and our host and show us around and have a little fun up there. I'm going to take along a bit of cars. I'm going to take the X-Max with me. I'm going to take the new XL, the Typhon 6S, probably the Sledge, and probably the Techno. I'm going to take the Techno along because I'm curious to see what that thing's like, and obviously the new Outcast 4S. And we're going to see what kind of craziness we can get into with the Outcast 4S at the skate park. I was chatting with Kenny a little earlier, and well, Kenny and Mike, because we're trying to put together plans tomorrow. We're going to see if we can put a beat down on the Outcast 4S and hopefully not split it in half, but it might happen. But anyway, guys, yeah, so those are the two big updates. You know, obviously going back to television and waiting to find out what this is, and hopefully it's not cancer and I got to write up a will for everybody to have an RC car. But, you know, that might be a great benefit. Yeah, Mike, I think the Techno is going to be awesome at the BMX track. That thing, it's light, it's nimble, and that Techno handles better than any car. I think it is the best handling car for sure. Yeah, at least if we do break the Outcast, at least we'll have another chassis along with us. But the what the heck was I going to say now? So yeah, we're gonna have some fun tomorrow. And gonna take a bunch of cars along with us, and should be a good time. Now, of course, what everybody is chatting about, and a lot of people posted up videos and stuff on this new Traxxas, the new XRT 8S. Now, I have seen just people's comments in some of the videos. You know, people have been posting on the Traxxas sites, and you know, a lot of the different Facebook sites and stuff like that. Now, it obviously looks a lot like an X-Max. There's some things about it that have similarities. And I even seen people in there commenting saying, this thing is a larger Italian, and that's all it is. And I mean, I honestly laughed when I saw that comment. I don't know how anybody could confuse. It's amazing just because a car can look like it's similar to another car. I mean, every car looks, they all have very similarities. And, you know, for everybody to just automatically start calling them out and saying that, you know, Arma needs to sue Traxxas now because that's nothing but a Creighton 8S and all this stuff. I mean, it's just, it's insanity. Guys, I mean, people with these automatically, everybody wants to jump on this bandwagon of Arma needs to sue Traxxas, and they need to sue them for this, and they need to sue them for that. And, you know, the funny thing is, it wasn't directly, you know, I don't know how many of you guys ever found a lot of the backstory on this, but, you know, Traxxas didn't directly sue Arma. The company, from what I understand, the company that was making a lot of the parts for Arma, that distributes parts, I guess, to many companies, were getting close to copying, you know, parts that Traxxas, you know, already had out there. And they actually sued them. It wasn't directly that, you know, Traxxas went right after Arma. That guys didn't know. I mean, Traxxas and their business practices are garbage. I mean, the way that they engineer stuff, the prices they want for their stuff, and all this stuff. I mean, Traxxas is ridiculous. I mean, they're off their rockers with the way they do stuff. I mean, just with stupid stuff, how they engineer their servos and the setups for their servos, and a lot of things that are just proprietary for them, and they try to make it so that you have to go to them to upgrade it. Now, luckily, there's lots of other companies out there, you know, that find ways, you know, that are able to construct things and make the cars better and parts that are similar, but you know, you're able to actually retrofit things. But the whole part of hold on a second. No, that looks like a slit. It did. And I don't know if Jason, if you see the video I put up, well, I think I only put it up on Instagram, but I actually put together a short video on Instagram that shows the X-Max and the Sledge, and then the X-Max um, let's just say, was riding the sledge, and then all of a sudden out pops this XRT. Because I mean, it does look like that. It definitely looks like they kind of combined it two, but with a whole new chassis setup of this XRT. I mean, it's the same modular design as the X Max. They have the same drive shaft system and everything, but obviously they got rid of the higher rise chassis style where it's a lot lower slung. It's more flat across the whole bottom. What's up, Garage Life? Yeah, I figured as soon as I seen that and everybody was putting together and saying, "Oh, this car looks like this car looks like that," I decided I had to put together a stupid little video like that. But no, the car looks interesting. But my issue with it is two things. I'm sure lots of you guys seen the RC driver's video on that thing. I mean, he was not jumping that thing hard at all. I mean, they were small jumps that he was putting that thing through at that BMX track. And he said even from those jumps that suspension is not set up for any kind of, moderate to heavy bashing, that thing was slapping like crazy. And that's what I've kind of been hearing a lot about. The suspension does not sound like it's definitely coming tuned for any kind of heavy bashing. So I'm kind of curious to see that. Will I be getting one? There's probably a pretty good chance I'll get one just to try it out and see what it's like. I mean, the price on the thing, surprisingly enough, for between the X Max and the Creighton 8S and the prices that those were, obviously whatever they were around, is not actually. I expected that car to be more. I would not put it past Trax at the time to put, $1,100 or $1,200 price tag on that thing is what I was expecting. So keeping it at $1,000, I was amazed. Yeah. XRT is a reverse. They were real creative, right, with that, right? They were. What's up, Froggy? What's going on, buddy? So yeah, they were real creative. They just flipped some letters around. But no, I mean, there's things about it that definitely look interesting. But in the tires, from what it sounds like, the tires that are on it are not going to be great for heavy bashing or any air control because they're either a belted or a really heavy rubber compound that do not expand. So probably got to change out the tires on it and definitely do some suspension work to it. The only things I'm concerned about it, but luckily, M2C, M2C Racing already kind of has a fix for this thing if everything lines up. And of course, nobody will know until they actually get one in hands. But as a center drive shaft system, because the center drive shaft system on the X Max has proved that it's not put up for heavy bashing. I mean, I was bending those aluminum straws left and right on the X Max all the time. After putting in the M2C drive shaft system in the center, I've never had another issue. The other thing I'm concerned about is it's got the exact same bulkhead and shock tower kind of setup. And that's been another big common problem on the X Max is constantly snapping that front bulkhead and the shock towers on any heavy jumps. It's constantly breaking those things. So now I did do that mod that Rich Duperbash showed me, with putting the extra steel hinge pin plate on the bulkheads, and it has definitely helped a lot. I don't think I have actually broken any of them on the X Max since doing that, so it's definitely a great modification. I think it's meant for. Yeah, you know what? That's a lot. It might. I think that car is going to be set up a lot more for fifth scale tracks and light bashing, because right now out of the box, I don't foresee that thing taking, massive ramp launches or, the big jump on at the motocross track. I mean, that thing I don't think is going to take a 40-foot drop out of the sky. I don't see it happening. But I'm sure there'll be some upgrades for it coming along, especially from M2C. I know that, we were chatting a little bit about that, and it's they'll be obviously putting together some stuff for that thing too to help it King. But, my question is this, though. If that thing is meant for a fifth scale track and racing and stuff like that, is that a big market? Because, around me at least, I hear nothing. And I don't know of any tracks around that are for fifth scale bashers or fifth scale racing. Everything is either from, 14th scale, up to 10th scale. and stuff like that. There's nothing for this kind of. Wait a minute. So the video showed the XRT taking damage to my K8S could only do. I haven't. I honestly, Beauty and the Beast. I have not checked out his video yet. But I'd be curious to see what it's like because I haven't seen anybody heavily bash this thing. I just seen people so far that were running this thing and doing rather light bashes with it and saying that the suspension was not, was not definitely set up for that. But again, I haven't had one in my hands, and I'm about to call it garbage or anything because I have no idea. I'm going to have one. I'm going to get one. I'm a sucker, unfortunately, for that because I'm curious now because I do love, my Outcast 8S and my Creighton 8S, as you guys seen. I mean, I have launched my Creighton 8S off of that giant jump down at the motocross track, sent that thing around 140, 150 feet, and probably definitely 40 plus feet in the air and dropped down, and that thing just takes it and haven't had anything really break on it at all. So I kind of know as far as a fifth scale, and I mean, obviously the Creighton 8S is a lot heavier. Now, this is one thing I'm excited about the XRT and that platform is the fact that it is all plastic. The majority of it is plastic, which means that thing's got to be quite a bit lighter than the Creighton 8S. So with that, obviously less weight, when that thing does take those heavy jumps and those hard landings, it might have a really good chance of surviving it because it doesn't have all that weight. Into one of those lawnmowers, it survived. Yeah, I mean, the weight on that thing, my Creighton 8S and my Outcast 8S both, when I first, in the stock form, and after I put a heavier power system in them, was able to launch the things a lot further and catch a lot bigger heights and distances. But come along with that, the chassis started bending. Bent the hell out of the chassis on them. So I got the M2C Racing chassis under them, and I stopped doing that. I ended up basically building the things to where they're just, a tank where they're heavier, but they can take it now. And I hardly have any breakages on them. But if this XRT is lighter and, able to take this stuff, I mean, I'm all for it. I'm excited to see one. I'm excited to give one a try. The only thing I'm only questioning, honestly, is the electronics. Because obviously Traxxas and their electronics have definitely got a lot to be desired. They're usually very underpowered. But, see, crank the thing up and you may mess with the gearing a little bit in a stock form and definitely run it for a while like that. And it might be the same way as like the X-Max, where you kind of even stick with a stock motor, but put a bigger ESC in there and probably liven that thing up and be a lot of fun. What's everybody else up to today? Anybody got any fun plans for the weekend? Just got checking up on comments. I know it's a weird time of the day. Everybody's at work. It's not even 1 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, so most people are at work. But it was kind of a good time. Like I said, my truck's getting front brakes put on and inspected right now. So I'm stuck at home. Can't do anything else. And I wanted to give you all little updates on what's going on with, Bars&tone is Bars&tone again. And my goofy arm thing. You're going to build a 6x6? Oh, it's supposed to rain in Texas? Well, that's not a normal thing. See the Nitro Creighton. No, I haven't seen the Nitro Creighton. So, Alan, how things been going, buddy? I haven't, have you been putting together anything going on? I know a lot of stuff going on, but you've been working on a car, obviously. Yeah, Texas isn't your normal place to get a lot of rain. It's like when California, in places like that, or Arizona, it's like, oh, it's raining. It's like, well, that's get a couple nitros to break this weekend. Yeah, it should be a nice weekend. It's getting colder here, obviously, and once the snow starts falling, I mean, it's not going to stop me, obviously, as long as it's not, -10 outside. We'll be out there having some fun and still beating on the cars. Unfortunately, it always leads to more breakages with A-arms and other things happening, but I still got to go out there and fun. It's always what I love during the wintertime And I recently did last winter is where I kind of started having a lot of fun with it. Was my local mall close to me. They snow trucks up there plow all the snow up into nice big mounds and turn into some of them into perfect ramps. So probably be having some more snow ramps at the mall fun again. And then, of course, we'll turn into during the winter going up to the indoor track. I still have my Techno. I'll probably put the race track tires back on it. But as you guys know, I'm sure a lot of you guys, heard Relarlo. They're actually releasing a new car. And I was just chatting with them today. And they're sending me the new one that's coming out. It's a 12th scale. And they sent some pictures of this thing, guys. And I'll tell you what. I mean, we all know that, like that purple Relarlo I had, a lot of guys had. I mean, running the speed records on this thing, speed runs, and I mean, things this fast. So I guess this one's brushless. It's 12th scale. And it's actually got a full steel drivetrain under it. It looks really nice. And I'm thinking about turning it into basically my wintertime track car. I'm going to put together some bash videos with it. But I'm honestly excited to get this thing because it looks really nice and looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. They got a new controller with it. So it's not that same style controller that was with all the other Relarlos that came out, over the summertime. It looks like a fun car, and it looks pretty nicely put. It looks nicely put together. So we'll probably be taking that thing up to the track and having some fun with it too. It should be here. I guess there was a delay on the release, and I should be getting one in a week or two, from what I was told. So I'll be curious to see that thing. I haven't heard the price point on it yet. There's been no talk about that, but it is 12th scale. It is brushless. And like I said, there's no more goofy plastic drive shafts. It's all steel drive shafts, steel diffs. It's got a center differential in it. It looks like an awesome buggy. I mean, to be 100% honest with you, it looks like an awesome buggy. And, with the size of it being a 12 scale will be perfect for that indoor track. Because any guys that see me try to run my Techno, my ET48 up there at the indoor track, is challenging because running a 8th scale at that indoor track it's tight because the track's obviously it's a smaller indoor track. So I think this thing's gonna be perfect for that. Yeah, it could be. It could be a great car because I mean, I don't know what brushless system. I haven't seen a ton of pictures. They sent me like, I don't know, 3 pictures. There was the 2 different versions of the car as far as colors, and then some pictures of the differentials and the drivetrain and stuff like that. And it looks good. Yeah, Mike, I'm going to bring the Typhon 6S with me. That'll be coming. Like I said, the Sledge, the Techno, the X-Max. I don't know if I might bring the Kraton 8S, but honestly, I don't really have enough batteries. I've had so many batteries go bad, and I just had 2 more 4S batteries go bad, and another 6S battery literally catch on fire yesterday. Everything from the summertime was getting so beat up and warped and everything that I just started having cells die. So right now, I literally have one set of the I think it's the 9,000 milliamp 4S lipos. I'm going to run in the X-Max because they fit perfectly in there. So I'm going to bring the X-Max with me because I got the new gears on that thing and kind of haven't had it out too much and want to beat it around. Sweeper. Yeah, we'll have to do some dueling Typhons off the ramps out there. That's what I'm excited. I just want to try to rip that Typhon 6S as fast as I can off one of those big ramps because it looks like it should be fun. But yeah, guys, and that's talking about lipos, and I don't, you guys know I usually try to give cars and everything a pretty fair chance out there. On issues you can have and have, you have an occasional lemon, with any battery, any kind of brand of stuff. It doesn't matter if you buy the best lipo, you can get a bad one. However, I hate to bash anything or anybody or any brand, but I have had an abnormal amount of of those RC lipos catch on fire and go bad on me over the last couple weeks. I'm been scared to use them. I've been keeping them obviously locked up because not yesterday or 2 days ago or somewhere around there, I had another one of them. I wanted to plug on the charger because I was getting batteries charged up for this weekend. And I went to plug it in, and all of a sudden another one. Now, mind you, this is now going on the third one, I believe. I had 6 of them, and this was the third one plugged into the charger. Went to charge it. Also came up, said something about a bad cell or cell error. I unplugged it, and all of a sudden, I tried to charge. I threw it on my little tester, and it was showing. I think it was the first cell or the fourth cell, or first of the 6 cell. One of them 2 was bad. And I plugged it back in again to see if I could try to get it to life. Now, no, I didn't throw it on like nickel metal hydride. I tried to set it again, and it started puffing up. And I literally took it outside because the thing's starting to puff. Throw it outside onto I got some cobblestone tiles, things like just chuck it out there into the grass and cobblestones, and the thing swells up and goes, pops a hole in it, and thing just went up in flames. So, yeah, and I don't need another lipo fire. I almost burnt down my place once already from that stuff. So, just setting it out there to anybody that might have those lipos, just be very careful with them. I have had so many cells go bad and just plain short and die, or I've had 2 of them now that went up in flames, and the batteries were no more than, I don't know, 2 months old. Some of them were less than a month old. So just be careful, because anybody that has those things, man, definitely keep them either locked up in something fireproof or keep them outside of your house, because I don't trust them at all anymore. And once the rest of them go bad, obviously that will be the end of those. Yeah, Frog, that's the hard case ones. And I had my Ovonics that I've had for quite a long time now. I had 2 Ovonic 4S lipos. And I probably, out of all the batteries I have had, honestly, Ovonics, I have had the best luck with them. As far as runtime, durability, and them actually staying pretty well balanced, and they run great. The Sokokin, no, the Sokokins are another battery. My first choice of battery would be Ovonic. As far as just all around, they're great batteries. Beyond that, the Sokokin is probably my second favorite. They are cheap. Those things you can beat the snot out of those batteries, and they just keep on going. So those are great batteries. The Z's, I haven't ran the Z's in a while. I used to run them a couple years ago, and I kind of had a little bad run on them. I don't know if they had some bad. They didn't catch on fire or anything, but I kept having all the solder joints breaking very easily on them. So I kind of stopped running the Z's, and that's why I started exploring other batteries. And I came across the Sokokin, which were awesome batteries. And what's the other one? I love brain farts. I can't remember what the name of that was. I mean, it was another one of the Amazon batteries that were on the cheaper side, but they held up great. What's up, CSL? How's it going, man? Yeah, Jeremy, I'm sure you've probably seen that 30-degree north buggy that who is geez, man, I'm trying to draw a blank. There, guys, hold on one second. I have to take this phone call. It's my truck inspection. Hello? Good. How are you doing? Okay. Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, go ahead and do it. Okay, so it will be done today, right? Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Sorry, guys. I had to take the phone call. I knew the dealership was going to be calling me at some point. My truck needs front brakes and rotors. I knew it did. Last inspection. The dealership's really great. I get the free inspections for life with it. And whenever I took it in last inspection, they're like, your front brakes are really on the iffy side. They said, but you're definitely going to need them next inspection. But I didn't drive my truck that much because I was always just, all I think I did at that time was drive back and forth to the airport. So my truck didn't get a ton of miles. So they carried over all the last year, but it finally needs brakes and rotors. So anyway, yes, Huvo. That's the other one. Huvo is a great battery too. But anyway, Speed Psycho. All right, getting back to where we were with that 30-degree north buggy, the Speed Psycho put together that insane one. And I guess him and Thunder were kind of, or Thunder is what got Speed Psycho to build this thing or get one of these. But that car looks like a beast. But I was talking with Speed, and I guess he said that thing is definitely, it's way overpowered with that Max, what is it, the Max 4 combo he's got in that thing. It's a beast, and the thing just, he said it's a tire shredder. I mean, you guys had watched Speed Psycho, you guys seen that video, but the truck definitely looks like a lot of fun. But I don't know how much longer is it as far as the size comparison to that thing, because I haven't seen one in person compared to, say, an X-Max or a Creighton 8S. Is it longer or wider or both? Yeah, Speed. And that, guys, I'm hoping, honestly, one other part I'm excited about going back to work in television now is getting to travel. And, so many times I met up with people. I met up with Speed up in Detroit when I was up there for a show. And then I met up with Earl when I was out in California and stuff like that. And I'm going to, at this point, when I go back, I'm going to find a dedicated basher. I might buy like something to be great for everything, like maybe a Typhon 6S and trugify it, or something like that, and leave it permanently on my truck, so that anywhere we go, anywhere I go, if I'm in town near any of you guys out there, that we could meet up, because that's been the one fun thing, is being able to travel around and meet up with people and just go on random bashes. That's why I'm so excited to meet up with RC for Us. Mike with RC for Us and Kenny from Black Sheep. Getting to go out this weekend and meet up. Because I took a couple weeks. I had some couple weeks off here in between leaving my past job and starting my new one. It was kind of a perfect opportunity, because I realized I'm 3 hours away from RC for Us and Kenny. So decided to speak of the devil. So this is huge, way bigger. Now, Speed, is it longer or wider or both than an X-Max? That's the only part I want to see. But yeah, so guys, that's one part I'm kind of excited about going back to work in television, is being able to meet up with people again and stuff like that, because it definitely brings opportunities. And if I keep a car, an actual basher, something that I can use anywhere, on the truck, at that point I'm just going to buy one of those cheap little battery chargers, the little small thing, something I can keep packed on there. Because I had the Losi Mini B and stuff like that on there, and they're fun, but I'm not taking those things to a skate park, and just, I'm not going to, at least if I do, it's not going to last for So I definitely want to get something bigger and something I can rip around. So if I randomly get to a town or a city where, some people are at that I know, and anybody on here that I talk to, that'd be awesome. So the King Kong is way wider and a foot longer than the X-Max. Holy cow. I did not, and I know that's a problem. And I say this all the time on my videos, that cameras are so deceiving on sizes of jumps and sizes of cars. It is so hard to really be able to see what stuff is, because it's like, you watch jumps on there, and like the jump down at the motocross track, sometimes I watch the videos back and it's like, that kind of sucks. That doesn't look like super impressive sometimes. But if you're there in person, it's like, holy cow, I can't believe that. But just like that car, that King Kong of Speed's here, I did not, looking at that car in the jumps, I would have guessed it didn't look as wide as an X Max, and it looked like, a slightly oversized Mojave is what honestly it kind of looked like to me. But if you're saying it's a foot longer than the X Max, then that thing's not getting represented very well on film. Have you ever put that thing beside your X Max? Or did I just completely miss that picture if you did? No, the video doesn't do much justice at all for stuff. I noticed that, you see these things, the cars and people's jumps and stuff like that. And sometimes the videos don't do justice at all. What did you do with your speed? Have you decided to tame that thing down anymore? Or have you found any tires you can keep on that thing for more than 15 seconds? Couldn't believe that. That thing, you need to take stock in the rubber tree, because you are definitely burning through the rubber, that's for sure. But guys, also coming for this weekend with our little video, our getting together with Mike and Kenny here. Yes, for anybody out there curious, Chad is going to come along. I don't know what or how yet. He might be involved, but maybe we'll try to do some funny stuff. We'll see if RC for us or Kenny even want him there, because they might kick him out immediately. I wouldn't blame them, honestly. I don't know why anybody would want him there. I don't know if any of you guys seen the little intro I put together already, but it was kind of good. What do you think about these trucks? We're starting to kind of chat about that a little bit here and there. What's up, Addicted? How's it going, buddy? So as far as this Traxxas 8S, first question, yeah. And I know Speed, I just watched your video a little bit ago, Speed, right before I did this live, about the new Traxxas. Am I going to buy one? Yeah. I'm curious to see what it's like and see how the thing holds up and kind of go from there. It does look like a lot of fun. It looks like it handles really great as far as on the ground and with kind of like smaller to medium jumps. Curious to see about the suspension and what the thing can actually take. Because, I see all the time people saying that the X-Max is the toughest truck in the world and you can't break an X-Max. And I've broken the X-Max so many times and broken so many chassis and bulkheads on that truck so many times. Everything is always perspective as far as what's the toughest, what's the best car, all depending on your bashing style and where you drive the cars and what you do with them. That's fine. Everybody wants to do their own thing. Some people don't want to go out there and just beat the holy hell out of their car and see if they can break it. I don't ever go out, guys, no matter what any of you think. I don't ever go out to intentionally break a car. I know there's guys out there, and you guys all know who they are too, that intentionally go out to just destroy the car, to see if they can destroy the car. I go out and run the car how I want to run it. And if it breaks, then there's a problem, and then I need to find a way to make it not break. But anybody can break any car. You can take a car and I go throw it off the top story of a tall building. You're going to break a car, but it's all moderate to what you're doing. And if people, based upon what's up, Christians, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, they're all going to break. Everything's going to break, but it all depends on your bashing style. Somebody might get an X-Max, and that thing might last them forever, and all they might ever do is break an A-arm or something. And other people might, buy one of those things and, of course, destroy it in 5 seconds. You guys that were watching, most of you guys that are in here right now have all seen most of my videos and know that it's like I don't ever try to intentionally really break them. Other than a couple times, I'll take that back. There was a couple times at the skate park with my Outcast 6S and I think maybe my Big Rock that something happened to them. And it was kind of that moment of saying, all right, well, you know what? You're already broken, so I'm just going to send it. Yeah, those moments do happen. I'm not going to lie. But Cyclone, you might be onto something. You know, Kevin Talbot is one of the people, everybody seems to either love or hate that dude. And while a lot of people might not agree with some of the things he does, as far as just goofy stuff, his on camera personality, or what he does with cars sometimes. But you got to give it to the guy because, I mean, he puts together entertaining videos. The stuff's fun to watch. And I mean, honestly, and I'm sure I speak for many people, I was into the hobby and into RC, a long time ago, and got out of it for a while. And honestly, coming back into it and watching a lot of his videos and stuff like that was what helped drive me of just going, you know what, just go out there and have fun and do what you want to do with your cars. But no, I mean, I see a lot of people bash that poor guy, saying his antics and this and that. But you can't fault him. He puts together some entertaining videos, and he's definitely not shy with buying cars. That's for sure. Yeah, he's entertainment. I mean, a lot of times some of his videos barely get into a lot of stuff as far as a lot of bashing, but it does a lot of other things behind, what's going into putting together cars. And I like the way that he edits his stuff and he puts together nice videos. I hate Gandalf because I'm just... Well, you know what? Obviously, the dude's done something right. And, a lot of people hate on people that, either have large YouTube channels or bigger YouTube channels than them, or have more money or more cars or more whatever. And usually what that all comes down to, it all just stems from jealousy. And it is, because it's like, usually hating somebody comes from them having something that you wish you did. And you know what? Like he says, you want something, you got to go out, work for it, and put some effort into it. And, yeah, no, I get what you're saying, Kevin. Some things, yeah, like I'm selective with his videos. Like, you can tell a lot of times by the thumbnail if it's going to be something that I want to watch. The only thing I don't really like that he has been kind of getting off into a lot lately has been kind of mixing too much of his other things going on with like the monster truck and stuff like that into some of the other videos. But yeah. No, Speed, I'm saying that that's where a lot of people come from. And, I have people on my channel that come on here every video, almost every video, I will say, or anytime Chad appears. I will say this. Anytime Chad appears in an intro, the dude automatically comments, which is funny because he either comments, your intros are stupid, Chad's an idiot, and your videos suck, or he just plain comes in and starts trying to rip on something I did in the video. But it's like, why are you even on my channel if you're just here to complain or criticize however I choose to put together my video? You don't like my videos? Don't watch it. I mean, don't come on here, watch my video, and then just complain. I mean, obviously, you're free to do what you want, but it just cracks me up, people that do that. It's like, I know, Christian, you hate Chad. You want Chad to go away, but honestly, right now, I wish I had my Chad stuff up here, but I got stuff packed away for tomorrow. You got anything running, Christian? I know you've been running your tracks. What was that? The Slash, or no, not the Slash, Stampede or something like that. Yeah, but Jason, yeah, that's exactly it. Chad, they're entertaining. It's exactly it. He's entertaining. But yeah, I got a lot of mixed, whatever. That's why I decided to put out to everybody, a while ago about the Chad and continuing to have Chad at all in occasional intros. And that's why it's like, I haven't had him in a lot of the intros recently because I don't want to kill anybody on it or wear it out. There's just going to be little kind of random moments and little things here and there that he'll make a guest appearance. I know, Speed. I know you like Chad better than me. You've told me, and it's like it kind of hurts, man. I made up Chad, and I think you were the one that actually you gave Chad his name, didn't you? Because I feel like whenever we were talking about this and doing videos, you said something to me about he definitely looks like a Chad or something like that. He seems like he'd be a Chad. Was it you that gave Chad his name? Because I feel like it was. Because if that's the case, I'm not kidding. Thanks, Speed. I appreciate it there, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah. People are idiots, bro. They hate, but they watch. Yeah, I think some people just love to hate is another problem. Because, I think there's too many people out there that are just angry with everybody or trying to find anybody to release their angers on. And anywhere they can find a moment to do that. You know what? If it makes you feel better, dropping some stupid comment, if it makes you feel better for the day, knock yourself out. Look at Speed right now. Speed's on here telling me how much more he loves Chad than he likes me. Your Chad, your dad's name is Chad. I felt honestly there's some moves because some of the intros I put together and things I've done with this whole Chad. There's another guy that's always on my Facebook. His name is Chad. And it's always funny because he's always one of the first ones to like the videos on there. And it's just like, I feel like I'm bashing people with the name Chad. And obviously it has nothing to do with anybody named Chad, but it's just funny. Tell your dad no hard feelings at all, I promise. So I got to find some more. I got to go back down to the hobby shop. I haven't been down there in a while. I got to go down there and get some more. I want to get some more of those Christmas ornaments before Christmas comes. What's up, Chad? See, look at Chad. Chad Davis. Are you the one? I'm terrible sometimes because I get people commenting and I catch comments here and there. I know. Are you on my Facebook? Because I can't remember if that was your last name or somebody else's last name that's always on there. And it's like I always felt like I was bashing people with the name Chad. And like I said, it's nothing to do with them. But hey, look, another Chad's here, guys. So poor Chads. What was the other name? All right, yeah. See, I thought you were. What was the other name? There was that meme going around with that dude with like his hat on kind of sideways. It was an old meme, and they were always using him as kind of like the real, I'm not sure what the best way to describe it, but a real tool bag type of dude. I can't remember his name, but I wasn't sure if I should have went with Chad or that dude, that name. I'm sure somebody in here's got to remember that guy's name. Kyle. There you go, Integrity. Kyle. He looks like a Kyle, exactly. See, that's what I was debating at the time between a Kyle or Chad, but the Chad just seemed to stick. And of course, now we can't change Chad's name, so that is it, though. But yeah, guys, so tomorrow should be fun. I'm excited out of here. Going to go meet up. Like I said, we're going to meet up with Black Sheep RC and RC for Us. And she's hopefully going to put together a few really good videos. I'm sure we're going to have some fun out there. I know those guys will get to put together some great content. And it's always fun. It was like whenever I met up with Speed Psycho. And, he recording my perspective of things, him recording his perspective. And now we'll have 3 perspectives of people's recordings going on at the same time. And I really like that because I think it's. Wait a minute. What? Yeah, that's the comedian Trevor Wallace. Oh, so now we got a Trevor. Wait a minute. What? You know what, Speed? I had thought about it, and a lot of people mentioned that, like Chad needs to get his own. Oh, no problem, Jamie. It's awesome. Got to go eat some Chick-fil-A. You know, funny story about Chick-fil-A. I pretty much cannot stand Chick-fil-A anymore. Not that their chicken is bad, but I got really burned out on it last year. Yeah, Speed. Well, how far away is that from you anyway? I'm not. How far away is I know I'm just going pretty much directly west, so it's probably got to be. Oh, geez, that's probably going to be like what 5-6 hours for you, huh, Speed? Because I'm like pretty much 3 hours away from Black Sheep, and Mike from RC for Us. And I didn't realize, like, there was chat here and there back and forth, like, oh, I'm in this part of Ohio. And I never really put two and two together, realizing how far they weren't. They were actually like closer. They won't cook their fries. Yeah, well, I know where you're at, Speed. I just didn't know how far that was from you, where we're going tomorrow. Chick-fil-A, I like their chicken sandwiches. However, for some reason, it gives me heartburn a lot of times, and I have no idea why. Because, I mean, I eat super hot, spicy stuff all the time. Uh, you know what, Black Sheep, do you know the name of the city or the town we're meeting in? Because I don't even know that, because Mike hasn't gave me. Sorry. I haven't heard yet on exactly what the name of the town is. We're going to Newark. It's Newark. Okay, Newark, Ohio. Have a good one, RCR Spot. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. I know, caught you guys in the middle of a work day. Coming on time. I'm just sitting here loafing, doing nothing. I think, dude, if we could get, I'll tell you what, we all do need to plan. And I know the problem is everybody's planning is spread out all over the country. But it would be awesome to get together in some sort of somewhat centralized location. Maybe find somebody that has a great, BMX track, skate park, and stuff like that. That's all within a certain distance, and everybody meet together, and get together a huge, meetup. It would be a blast. Yeah, there you go. Bring the new 3 Degree North with you, and we can watch some rubber go flying. Yeah, I know that's the problem right there. Yeah, I know. I mean, a lot of stuff. We could bring ramps. I mean, even if somebody had a good spot and be able to, people could bring ramps and anything else they wanted to. It could be fun to set something like that up. Yeah, David, are you going to be back? You still going up to Big Dog RC up to the track? You're not far from me in Cincinnati. Yeah, come on. Yeah, that's the biggest problem, Froggy, is trying to find, a piece of property, big enough to host. Because, I mean, we don't know. I mean, this could escalate. We could think we're going to have, a dozen people there. We could end up with 100 people there. I mean, you have no idea. And that's the biggest problem, is just trying to find an area large enough to accommodate the possibilities of what, it could turn into. Yeah, well, David, I'm planning on hitting this thing again during the wintertime and more, like I do every year, just because of weather and everything else. But I was telling them, I don't know if you've seen that new Relarlo that was released. well, it's not released yet, but it's coming. It's going to be released here in a couple weeks. But it's a wait a minute, a 12th scale, brushless. It looks like a really nice buggy, and it's more set up obviously for racing, and it looks like a great setup. I'm going to bring that up here because it'd be a great size for that indoor track. Because David, you've seen the struggles obviously of that Techno on the track. Like once I got in a good groove, I was able to run some pretty decent laps with it, but it's tight on that track in there running that size car. So I've been thinking about trying to find something smaller to run there during the winter, and they're going to send me this thing. So I'm going to check it out, and hopefully it definitely looks track worthy. It's light, it's fast, it's got nice suspension under it. So you'll probably be seeing me bring that thing up here. Just going to run the track in the backyard. Yeah, like I said, I'm stuck at home today. Just got off the phone, like you guys seen, with getting my truck inspected and new front brakes and rotors put on that thing. I was surprised. What do you guys think on a Ram 1500, new front brakes and rotors with labor, parts, and inspection would be? Because honestly, I was just blown away with the quote the dealership just told me. I thought it was going to be way more. Bashing RC this past week. I know, you guys, I seen that. I seen pictures of that whole thing. And if I was closer to Kansas, I would have loved to come out there. Well, yeah, that definitely is a problem. There would have to be some organization definitely put into this with. No, Jason, I was surprised. Speed, you're still off. I was amazed. I was freaking amazed. And they even told me, they said, they told me the Bendix, the brakes and everything they put on, but we don't like to put cheap stuff on. It was $380 for front brakes and rotors and labor and inspection. Yeah, you're really close, Froggy. And Cyclone. But yeah, there would have to put some organization and thought into this. We couldn't just throw some ramps out there and have a free-for-all, because you would definitely have, I mean, hell, me and Trevor can't go out, just the two of us, and I almost kill him multiple times. So there would definitely have to be put some organization put to this, and directions on what lines you're using and can jump, because if it turned into a free-for-all, yeah, people would be taking fifth scales to the face and who knows what else, and it would get ugly really fast. I know, Jake. Dude, I was amazed whenever I first got a quote. Whenever I told them, I said, "Hey, give me a call. Let me know the parts cost that much." Yeah, I'm surprised. I was honestly expecting around $600 for a brake job for that thing. It's in that area, but amazingly enough, these guys have been great, and they've been really good and really fair with the truck, with inspections and taking care of any problems with it and stuff. But yeah, as far as trying to ever put together or get together, yeah, we would have to put together some organization and people in charge of organizing things, and actually it would take definitely a little bit of thought and time to get it set up, because if everybody just suddenly showed up one day and started ripping cars everywhere, I mean, people are going to end up in the hospital. So pads and rotors are cheap. Yeah, it's not some Ford. No, it's not Ford. I could find jumps anywhere. I take Fisk. Well, I know Speed Cycle. You eat fish scales for breakfast, and then a 3-degree north for dinner, apparently. And also, sorry about your hand. Is your hand feeling better? Yeah. And I think that's honestly why a lot of times people. Well, is Kansas RC still in here? Like, how did you guys set that up, or who set it up, and how was that organized? As far as making sure that information, people weren't injured, and like, was it thrown together that day? Were things planned out, a long time in advance? Just curious. I'm just kind of curious because I've seen a couple people put together these large groups, and put together these events, and I would love to have one of those things. But it's just trying to figure out how to do it and do it safely. And like, how does the liability fall at that point? Because obviously that's always anybody's concern is there like, would you have to get a waiver signed? Does everybody sign a waiver when they come in? I'm assuming so that whoever's hosting the event, whether or not it be one person, multiple people, that nobody can, one person be the a-hole that takes a car and gets hit and, tries to sue everybody. Yeah, it's broken, so I have bad range of motion. Well, that's good. Got Trevor. Yeah, where's Trevor? He just texted me, but Trevor's trying to find out. He's been messaging me. Great dude. He's concerned about my arm and trying to find out if I got the results back for that yet. He wanted to know prior to our Facebook group. So everybody just kind of put together and planned an area. And, well, I know, Speed, we could do. I mean, if everybody just grabbed a helmet and maybe like a chest protector of some sort, motocross chest protector or a football one, I mean, we should be good. And, I mean, as far as ankles and stuff like that go, what's a broken ankle? I've broken both of my ankles whenever I race motocross, and I broke one of them twice. Now the one clicks. I can make it like click and pop to the side on cue, which isn't a good thing. But I'm surprised Trevor's not actually in here. But anyway, guys, yeah, so today's chat was just kind of going over, like I said, letting you guys know what's kind of happened in my life and letting you guys know what's going on with my goofy arm thing. And I hope, like Trevor just asked, that I do find out a verdict here soon. And yes, whenever the new Traxxas comes out, definitely, yeah, I'll be checked. I'll be getting one. Yeah, I don't know, Cyclone. I don't know where Trevor's at. Well, actually, he's probably still at work. It is only 1:30. I keep forgetting what time it is. It's still early. I know I usually try to do some of these, if we do a live, later in the week or later in the evening when people are home, because I know a lot of people are obviously at work and stuff like that. But what color what colors are on that new Traxxas? I seen the red one and I think a blue one. And what other colors is there? The green. I don't know if I seen the green one. I was kind of like picking like an odder color. It was just like whenever the sledge. I mean, obviously everybody has the orange one. A lot of orange ones are out. But, like whenever the sledge came out, everybody was grabbing the blue one and I think the green one and stuff like that. I really dug the orange one. But yeah, I think I'd probably be the killer on that thing too. It would either be the green or the orange one I would try on that thing. I'm curious to see what the tires are like. Speed. I seen in your video, did you actually go and see that car in person? I know you said your hobby shop had one, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, that would probably be a bad idea by trying to be behind the ramps. A bad place to be. What is this crap? Why do we got to have spammers in here? Trying to report and get rid of these idiots. One I realize I don't have in here. So Speed Psycho. Some of you guys will now see your moderator. When you guys see stuff like this come up, or if I don't catch things ever in the chat, yeah, I know, Frog. I know I made you one, but I think you're like the only. I don't ever really made a lot of moderators for this channel. So I figured I'd make a couple more just so that people can keep an eye on chat like that. But yeah, sorry, I got distracted here with these idiots. I hate when those people show up in the comments on the videos too, because it's like they're relentless. They just post and post and post and post and post. But going tonight, they called me. Okay, so I'm curious to see, Speed, whenever you get to that hobby shop, one thing I'm really curious about is finding out the tires on that thing, to see what those tires are like. Because everybody I've been hearing, and anybody that's been talking about them, say that the tires are definitely not meant for bashing, that they're extremely hard and like they don't expand. So I'm just kind of curious about that. And tell me what you think of the suspension, because I'm definitely curious. Because like I said, I want to get one. Just curious to know what things I'm going to have to change immediately. I know. It's like, you know what? I think enough of everybody's life is on social media. Everybody on there is inundated with this crap, with all the different pornography stuff. I mean, TikTok, I have now learned, like I'm on TikTok and I kind of use TikTok as just like a place to post RC stuff, my own goofy stuff, and just mixtures of things. Like it's not just RC at all. But it's like on there until I learned how to use TikTok in editing down what stuff I actually want to see. I mean, that place is nothing but a gateway drug to pornography for girls. I mean, it's ridiculous what goes on there and the amount of it. I was just, I was blown away when I seen some of the stuff. But yeah, it literally, it seems like girls go from TikTok to OnlyFans, and then I'm guessing the next step is probably Pornhub or something. I don't know, because that just seems to be the stepping stone now. It's like TikTok is their first stepping stone into that world, I guess, because it's crazy. But anyway, I learned to be able to not show certain hashtags and how to weed all that crap out so that I can actually just get the videos and stuff like that. Because people definitely are very creative, and I love watching that stuff, and people put together very creative videos and funny stuff. And, that's why I mainly went there. But then it seemed like all I was getting was inundated with all this stuff. And now I got all that stuff weeded out. And it's actually not too bad. I can actually get on there now and scroll through and have some laughs and, be done with it. Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see that, Speed. Yeah, MSN's video was... What was MSN's video? The drain tile system in a guy's basement right now, and he's over 50. Holy cow! He's got over 50 cars, and he plans to build a track. Wow. Where are you at, Tegrity? Like, what state? Yeah, I mean, I figure the first, I think that new XRT, like it's probably its home would be either tracks type stuff or like BMX tracks and stuff like that kind of place. I mean, you can obviously send, cars at the BMX track, like the BMX track. There's some jumps down there. You can really launch the car. get over 110, 120 feet and get probably, 25 to 35 feet in the air. But for the majority, the BMX tracks are probably a great place for that kind of car, at least out of the box. See, Trevor's in here. Everybody tell Trevor to say hi, because now he just said, "Oh, I see you." So he's in here. He's just being quiet. Come on, Trevor. Speak up there, buddy. Had to have my mid-afternoon Red Bull. He lives by the Traxxas factory shop in Frisco. Holy cow. Oh, so he's got really easy access. So he's probably got a lot of Traxxas in his basement, I'm guessing. The other thing I'm curious to see, and I hope to God, but I already know my answer probably on this, is the drivetrain on that new XRT. If it's made out of the same monkey metal that the Sledge is made out of and the X-Max is made out of, I mean, that's kind of disappointing. Because, man, that stuff just does not hold up at all. And I wish that they would just, if they wanted to charge an extra $50 or, because it doesn't cost them that much for the upgraded parts. But if they wanted to charge, an extra $50 or $75 for the car and actually put in there the gears and the drivetrain that should have been in that thing from the start, it'd be easier to swallow, and be able to spend the money on it. But it's like, oh, here, we're going to give you this really crappy metal, but oh, hey, we sell this extra one that you get to spend another $100 or $150 on. That was my problem with the Sledge. You guys all heard that, heard my old bitch about the Sledge was the fact that it's like, yeah, I love the car. It's a great car, but the diff cases and the differentials they threw in that thing were a joke. They should have went with the better gears right off the bat. And I still don't think that whole plastic diff design that they used with two pieces screwed together on the bottom was a great place, because it's blade. So yeah, it's the same as, I'm sure it looks like they took pretty much the whole drive system out of the X-Max and dropped it in this thing, but obviously changed the chassis design so that you don't have the massive risers that gain obviously the extra height that you have with the X-Max. So they just changed the front and rear bulkheads and kept everything else the same. And that's what I'm hoping though. I am hoping with the fact that whole new bulkhead design, well, with the way the chassis part of the bulkhead is with the front and rear parts, that it doesn't put as much stress now on the bulkheads or any of that, and break the bulkheads like I did on the X-Max all the time. Of course, it's the same monkey metal. I know, Kansas. That's where they make it. My hobby shop, and everybody has told me that flat out. The hobby shops in all these places do not really make any money on selling the cars. I mean, they hardly make any money on a sale of a car. They make the money, the hobby shops, and everybody does, on all the parts you buy afterwards. So obviously they're counting on you to break that thing. So obviously they're going to build the cars to have failure points so that they can make the money. Now Traxxas or whatever manufacturer, Arma or Traxxas or any of them themselves are obviously probably making a lot of money or making a decent amount of money off the car itself. But after it leaves the factory and goes to hobby shops and anybody else, that part of the money is not really being made. They're making the money off the parts. But of course, Traxxas is now making the money from either the hobby shops buying parts to have in their shop or people buying the parts. So if you design it to fail, obviously you're going to have repeat customers. It looks like real metal, but I'll let you. Oh, you think it actually looks like real gears, like actual hardened steel type of metal? I would be amazed if that thing's actually got real gears in that thing out of the box. I would be blown away, and then it would 100% sell me on buying one. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to myself. I'm gonna buy one anyway, but that would definitely be a huge plus. That's why they made the wide kit for the X-Max. Yeah. And this thing has and this thing has the wide A arms on it already, right? So it has the wide stance right out of the box. So be curious to see that because, like I said, I never ran my X Max with the Traxxas wide kit. I've put on the M2C Racing wide kit on mine, and that's how I've ran it. And I've never had any real issues. I never had any issue with breaking A arms easier or bending drive shafts or anything. But I did hear, a lot of people complaining that with the wide kit for the X Max from Traxxas, that they were bending drive shafts really easy and breaking A arms. Now, I mean, obviously that could just be driver error because obviously, you see people out there all the time complaining about cars or A arms or this or that. And it's like, oh, well, I only rolled the thing one time. It's like, well, you go cartwheel on that thing, for 50 yards into a tree or anything else, something's going to break. Yeah, Jason, I'm the same way. I'm going to get it, run it, the first couple times, stock, see if there's any weak spots in it, and then work from there. Even like you see with my X Max, I had a huge power system in my X Max, and for me, it was way over. I didn't like the power. That system worked great in my Creighton 8S, my Outcast 8S worked beautiful. But on the X Max, I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way the car controlled. It had a hair handle. I didn't like that if you smacked that throttle just a little too hard, tires were flying in the air. Just wasn't how I didn't like it. So that's why I went back to the stock power system in the X Max. Now, is it a lot slower? Yeah, it's slower, but it's fun and it stays together for me. So that's a huge plus. Wait a minute, what's he doing? I don't know what he's doing. I told Trevor we're on here if he wants to join in and say hi. I thought he was in here. So, see, I don't know if this will. I'm going to see if I can take a screenshot of this. This is part of the drive system. I know some of you guys may not care, but on this new Larlo, this 12th scale that they're sending me, they actually put together. A nice look. I mean, the drivetrain looks really nice on it. Oh man, try to get that thing close enough. But it's actually got steel discs, cups, steel drive shafts, and everything. Like, it looks pretty nicely put together, and it's got carbon fiber, chassis, which will make this thing light. And that's why I'm thinking it might make it for a great race buggy. I know we kind of just went backwards there in conversation, but I'm just saying I'm actually excited to see this thing. Yeah, it said I should have it in about a week or two. They'll be sent out, so I'm excited to get that thing a rip. Renault. Excuse me. What? You replace the steering servo on the XRT? I mean, I see, of course, they didn't put the black upgraded Traxxas servo on it that has the garbage one already in there from the start. Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about with this white kit. Yeah, the Earl, that everybody had the upper arms and everything were flexing so much, it was creating a lot more stress on the drive shafts and stuff. Yeah, I don't. That's again, it's like, why? You're putting together a basher, and I don't know what they're calling this thing really. I mean, I know that the Sledge came out basically as a direct competition to, obviously, the Creighton 6S and that stuff. I don't know what this car is coming out to really compete with. If it's supposed to be the Creighton 8S or anything like that. But I don't know why, if they're doing that, if they're trying to make a car that they're going to say is better than something else, like why they don't try to actually make things better and don't like all right, they know their stock servo's junk. Let's put the better one in here from the start. But again, they got to sell the parts. I don't see without, you know what? No, I'm not even speaking about that. Until I get one and see one in person and drive it, I'm not even going to make that assumption. I'm just curious to see what this thing is like compared to, the Creighton 8S or the Outcast 8S as far as handling actually, like really large jumps. Yeah, I know. I had so many of those things go bad on my X-Max. The first time one went bad, they warrantied it, and they gave me, well, my hobby shop warrantied it, and which I don't know if it's actually Traxxas or that's just a hobby shop, warranty. But anyway, they gave me a new servo. I put it in there, still a stock crappy one that came with it. Threw it in there. It lasted for, I think, maybe 2 runs. It went bad. Finally, that's when he's like, well, they do sell an upgraded version. So I got the black one, and I threw it in there. And it lasted a lot longer, but it still went bad after a couple months. They warrantied it for me again, and I threw that in there. And so far, it's been holding up still. And I mean, the servo, but on it, I think the only thing that saved that servo now has been the hot racing servo saver setup I put on my X-Max, because, I mean, it's got a lot more flex, and the steering is not as good as it was because it does have so much spring on that thing. And I've tightened that thing down a bit, but I think it's what it's doing what it's meant to do, and it definitely has saved that servo a lot. Yeah, I don't know where Trevor's at. I thought he'd be in here. He might be in here. He's just ghosting everybody. But Cyclone, I have been thinking. I thought so many times about buying like one of those low C 5Ts. Is if I buy a gas car, that's probably what it will be. But I see so many I see so many videos with those things with out of the box them being slow. So it's like everybody's automatically upgrading the motor or changing stuff out, or it's like, yeah, you can bash them, you can jump them, smaller stuff, 10, 15, like it seemed like around a 10-foot mark as far as height, maybe 10 to 15 max. And depending on the distance, you can definitely jump those things. But it seems like anybody I've seen really try to jump one of those things, it's never ended very well. So if I got one, I would definitely have to refrain and keep myself within the car's limits so that I don't kill it and then get disappointed. I'm stealing the XRT. There you go, Speed. Let's see that video. I want to see you go in there live, running that hobby shop and dash out the front door with that thing. Speaking of which, Speed, why don't you ever go live? I don't think I've ever seen you live. I've seen you on people's lives, but I don't think I've ever seen you go live. But yes, Speed, let me know how that works out for you. I'd be curious. Like I told you, Chad saved up some bail money. He always has some bail money set aside just for whenever he does something stupid. So if you need some bail money, hit up Chad. Since Chad, you like Chad better anyway. So I hope you got Chad's number. Bandit at night, right? Yeah, I've never done that modification either on the X-Max, and I was going to so many times with cutting out the box and actually mounting a normal servo box in there. I was going to do it multiple times, but I decided that if the servo went bad again, I was probably going to do it. But after changing the servo and putting that hot racing servo saver setup in there, I haven't had any problems. So I haven't done it again, or haven't tried to do it. But yes, we definitely let. I'm sure if you end up in trouble there, Chad will Chad will be to the rescue. You're getting one from Hosam? Are you getting the, what is that called? Oh, I forget the name of that car now. But yeah, the one that Hosam made, it was brushless. I think it was brushless. It was a really fun little truck. It was a fun truck, and it drove nice. But then there was another one that I had gotten from them, like, I don't know, probably 6 months ago or so. I don't know why they went with the choice of tires they went with. The tire rubber was way too hard, and I mean that thing was virtually useless on any kind of loose dirt or stuff like that. You guys have looked. Yeah, Jerry, I know, and that's why I want to try gas. I mean, I had nitro cars, a lot in the past, and I ran them, and nitro cars drove me crazy just because of dealing with the tuning all the time. Like, I want to just chuck a battery in it and go out and have fun. And I mean, if I could get a gas car that I could just throw some gas in it and go out and rip the thing, I'd definitely be down, and I'd love to try one. But I haven't actually had a petrol car. Why am I saying petrol? Gas, an actual gas car. I think every time, because I hear people talk about gas cars, it's usually on Hardcore RC's live, and he's always saying petrol. So I think now he's got me saying petrol. Wait a minute, you still have the stock kind of, I'd say, garbage servo in yours, and it's lasted that long? Yeah, I can believe. I mean, the gas. So the gas, you just obviously need gas and your battery for your servo and steering and receiver and all that stuff. So it doesn't sound too painful with not having to deal with tuning all the time and all that. I mean, obviously you got to mix your gas like you do, like you do a dirt bike or anything else. Or at least I did. I know people now with their 4-strokes, but whenever I raced motocross, it was all 2-strokes and mixing everything. Yeah, and that's what killed me on the gas stuff, Jeremy, was the nitro. I mean, it's like you'd get that thing fired up, you get it running great for, one day or an hour or so, and then the thing starts running like crap. And then you got to start the thing the next time, and it's like you got gas, you got a new glow plug in it, and for the life of you can't get the thing to start or run properly at all. And it drove me nuts. And that's why I swore I'd never own another one. I love the sound of them. I like the smell of them, but I just hate dealing with them. So, that's crazy speed. I cannot believe you've had a stock servo that long. This is an April Fool's Day. I don't know how that's just nuts. Yeah, and that's it too, Alden, is, the weather. It's like, if the pressure's lower and, depending on if it's been raining or hot, the air's thinner, it's like everything varies upon the jetting or making that thing run properly. And it's just something I don't want to do. Personally, I don't want to deal with, because I just, like I said, I want to throw a battery in it or gas, if I decide to get one, and just rip it. And I think, like maybe one of those low C5Ts would definitely be a blast at the BMX track and at the motocross track, but I just can't go trying to send that thing, 140 feet, because it's probably not going to end well. It won't even have the speed to get that far realistically. So with its speed limits might keep me in limits. You have a Max? Yeah, I have the Max V2, Jim. The best thing I did to my Max was, and guys, and this isn't, you guys know, obviously I deal a lot with M2C, but the M2C chassis brace that I put on that Max has saved that thing immensely. I mean, when I first got that car, it's tough. It is a tough car, no doubt. But then I started dealing with the chassis and the bulkheads on that thing, and the shock tower part. Ever since putting on that chassis brace on my Max, I have had zero issue with that car. I mean, that car, you just beat the snot out of that Max, dude, and that thing just keeps going and going and going. It's amazing. And I mean, I did a little bit of suspension work on it, and I put that chassis brace on it, and I think that's it. I even went back to the stock ESC on it because I took the 8S ESC that was in my Max because I was running my Max on 6S occasionally. I put that back in my X Max, and I'm just running the Max on strictly 4S now. And I mean, that thing's a blast. What? That's now. Tell you what, I'll pull this up right here while we're on this live. I can't speed. I'm strictly on the. I don't think I can. I'm strictly on the YouTube app thing right now. I am not on like StreamYard or on my OBS software right now. I'm just strictly on YouTube lives right now. Or I wish I could. I'll have to set that up at some point because it would be kind of fun to throw other people in here. Let me go to MTC site here because it's called I think the M series, like, because they had to change all their names for things. And honestly, it's not my business to get into that, but a certain company, and if you look at their website, you'll see what it is. A certain company was pitching a fit. So there had to go with, man, I just had the stitches removed out of this yesterday. And it is, I don't know why it's itchier now than it was the day of. So the S series. So where is this thing? Yeah, it's called the MV2 series. Oh, wait a minute. You have the V1, huh? I don't know if they have. I don't know if they have actually made one for the M1 series. I don't think they have. I think they only made this chassis brace for the Max V2. Yeah, so you're right. What's up, Riviera? How's it going, buddy? Yeah, YouTube wasn't being nice, I guess. Everything's been acting weird. Has anybody else noticed recently, like a lot of like social media stuff, like YouTube and stuff on Instagram and stuff like that recently, like notifications or updates on like views and all that kind of stuff has not been working right. I don't know what is going on. It's just randomly, they just all of a sudden you get stuff, you don't get stuff, and you don't get stuff for a couple of days or a week. And then all of a sudden, boom, everything floods into your account. And now you've got, hundreds of comments to try to answer back to. And it's like, well, thanks. Well, this makes it a little more difficult. So, Speed, are you going to make a trip to Ohio tomorrow? This could be fun. Get a couple more people. Yeah, the ball. Well, I don't know. I had never tried, obviously, any of those aluminum bulkheads on the Max or the X Max. But the other thing that the Max, the bulk. Well, yeah, okay, no, I didn't do the bulkheads, but I did do the aluminum hot racing differential covers on the X Max, and that saved a lot from I've had a lot less. I haven't gotten rid of it, but I've gotten a lot less differential problems with the X Max after doing that. Yeah, I mean, it's like the Vidavon bulkheads and stuff like that that they built for the X Max to Max. I mean, those things were like they were ridiculous from what I remember. The prices on those things, and I mean that is a big chunk of aluminum, but you can't stop them. From other to you, the set of tools from our local hobby shop. Oh, I really appreciate that, Revere. I really do. You always, dude. I always appreciate your comments, and videos and stuff and everything in here. It's always nice to hear from you, buddy. I really do appreciate that. That's again, it's like I got so many great people in here, um, and I always enjoy chatting, even though we're in the middle of daytime and apparently people aren't getting notifications. But really appreciate all of you. Always a fun time. I'm definitely looking forward. I try to put together some really fun, entertaining videos tomorrow with meeting up with these guys, with meeting up with Kenny and RC for us. I think we're gonna have a great time because we're gonna hit the BMX track. From what we discussed, we're gonna hit the BMX track first. See what we can break there. See what we can have fun with, and then Mike from RC for us sent me a picture of the skate park that's really close to where we're going. And I mean, guys, this skate park just looks absolutely epic. I am so excited. I mean, I love BMX tracks and stuff like that, but I'm super excited to try to see this RC park or this RC park, this skate park, because it looks like it's going to be a blast. The community is the best. Yes, you know what? I mean, everybody in this hobby, and I will say 99.99%, you always have that one dude that's just, like I discussed earlier in this video, you always have that one dude that just likes to try to give people a hard time and bring them down, and all that. But, whoa, kicking the stand. But the majority, everybody in here is great, super helpful each other. If people can help each other out, they do everything they can. Give everybody lots of encouragement and hype on their channels and their videos and try to help promote them. And, I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of people out there are scared. It's like people get, the best word is, but it's like they're afraid of having people, catch up or do the same stuff as them or, do better than them. And it's like, it's not about that. It's like, this whole video started and this whole YouTube thing started was just strictly, to bring people along and have some fun with it and show people what I'm enjoying about it. And that's what it's about. And too many people get too deep into all of this and turn it into some sort of competition. And it's like that whole driving force. And it's like, the money, like they say, the money is the root of all evil when it comes to certain things. And people start looking at that goofy counter on their YouTube app and looking at whatever they're making from that YouTube channel. And it's like too many times people start losing sight of what they created it for. And I know there's been times where it's like, I was trying to make videos and it's like, try to do this and try to do that. And it's like, I've always tried to keep a certain consistency to the channel and what I put out there. And right now it's weird. It's like, and anybody else in here also with YouTube channels, tell me, has everybody noticed like kind of a drop off in subscribers and views and stuff like that? I'm just curious because it's like I have recently noticed that where it's just like that people just don't seem to be watching as much, and it's like it's whatever. I don't care. I don't do this at all, and this is never going to be a way to stop working. I do it because I enjoy it. I have a blast out there running the cars, having fun with other people out there, having fun with Trevor, and just sitting on here in the middle of an afternoon chatting with all of you. Honestly have had thoughts of, you know, changing the consistency of videos just so that depending on how everything goes with work and depending on if anything crazy happens with surgeries or stuff like that with my arm, obviously I might even have to change it or make it boost it out, making post a little less often, like maybe push it out to like every 4 days type of things. I think sometimes right now maybe I post too often. I don't know. That's what the guys think. What do you guys think when you guys watch anybody else's YouTube channel? How often do you want to see a video from them? Because I've been giving this a lot of thought recently, and let me consider. I appreciate that the crickets. Yeah, it's been quiet lately. Kansas City. It's been weird. It's like just over the last, I would say, 3 weeks, right in that area. Like there has been this major drop off just in plain views and subscribers and everything. Like there's just not as much. It's like certain videos get more obviously attention than others, but it just seems like overall traffic has just died off recently. I bought the ghetto bulkheads, $100 a piece. They work great. Wait a minute. For what car are you talking about? Is this for the X-Max or is this for something else? I remember school time. Yeah, I mean, it's just about just having fun. And too many people get into pissing contests on here with each other and other people's channels. And there's been other people on here I've come across, getting into just some really odd stuff and turning into drama fests. And I honestly, some people I've unfollowed recently just because of that, because it's like, there's enough drama already with everything else in the world right now. Like, I don't want to come on YouTube and somebody's RC video and listen to some pissing match you're having with somebody else or some drama. Like, not what I'm in for. Yeah, it might be right, Jeremy. Like everybody's out kind of having fun and spending less time online right now and getting ready to have to hibernate, during the wintertime. Maybe that definitely could be a big thing. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about doing like a video, maybe one on a Saturday and a Wednesday. Because honestly, those seem to be the two best days anymore. It's like if you post one Saturday and you got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday. So you're kind of given like, it might space things out, or do one simply like in once every middle of the week, like every Wednesday, do a video. I thought about doing that too. So I thought about going either direction, either a Saturday and a Wednesday, because Saturdays people are home and might be scrolling YouTube and want to watch something, because I know I do a lot of times. And on Wednesdays it seems like a good day because it seems like midweek people just trying to find some sort of enjoyment to get through their week. So I think that's where I think I might start kind of doing my videos, schedule along that line. Going on either every Wednesday or every Saturday and Wednesday, I think is what I'm going to kind of push towards. Hopefully get some fun stuff. I'm hoping it'd be nice. I'm hoping we can get together at least 2 or 3 videos tomorrow of a lot of fun. So I know we'll have one at the BMX track at least, and then maybe 1 or 2 at the skate park. And I'm taking enough cars that, if I do break stuff, I got lots of backups because like I said, I think tomorrow I'm going to take, I know we kind of talked about this earlier, but I'm going to definitely take the Typhon 6S. I'm going to take the Sledge. I'm going to take the Techno. I'm going to take the Outcast. I'm going to take the newer, I think, probably the newer Creighton XL. And I don't know what else would be good. I just had the Italian out and beat the snot out of that thing. Oh, you know what I'll take? Oh, the Outcast 4S. I'll take the Outcast 4S with me too. And that'll give me 6 or 7 cars to break and hopefully not break and see what happens. I forget the vid. Dude, Riviera, the amount of stuff that Speed Psycho has hit, I'm sorry, but if I was Speed and I was even, if I was into RCs and I was his next door neighbor, I would still hate being his neighbor. Dude, he takes out their plants. He takes out their flowers. He's taking out mailboxes. He's hitting their cars, getting them cars wedged underneath cars. Like, you are a nut, dude. With the stuff that you have clocked, I'm surprised you have not legitimately gotten in some sort of trouble yet. What's up, Molds RC? How's it going, bud? Yeah, this is great. And there's a lot of people I notice. I still come across people all the time. And I don't know what it is. If it's just my algorithm with YouTube on what I search, people that I search. But there's so many channels out there that I've come across, that people talk about, oh, this channel is great. And I've never seen a single video from them. It's crazy. It's just like this right now, Alan. You're seeing this RC madness does not sound familiar to me at all. Sometimes I kind of go by also it's a visual thing. It's like you see people's logos and you automatically remember or know you've seen them. So if anybody wants to post up, their link to their channel, if nobody's ever visited them before, if anybody wants to post their link up, I think the chat will let you do that. Not honestly 100% sure. Oh, I'm looking at some other stuff on here. We could do a poll. Do that. Huh. I never had used the YouTube version of the live really very much because I went right off into using the OBS, the Open Broadcast software. And I have it on this laptop. But I haven't set everything up yet. I've honestly been setting up all of stuff for gaming up here at the moment because kind of gotten into messing around with this whole thing. So, Bars, if you make next year for one more. Make it next year for one. In Connecticut. I mean, that's not terribly far either. See, wait, did they just do this? This may have been another one of these big get-togethers I did see a video on, but I'm just not remembering. Because there was another get-together. I know I seen the Kansas City had theirs. And then there was another one recently, and that might be the ones I'm seeing. I'll have to look and see. I'll have to look them up. Maybe another thing, I want to kind of get this thing together to be able to do lives. I'd like to get it set up to where, I know I have to use the OBS software to do this, but be able to get it set up to where we could pull up people's videos during the live and be able to throw those up and stuff. So, need to finish setting this up. I've been getting so many things, and I just got a whole new gaming setup. I'm gonna hop on hopefully later today with Trevor and some friends, and we're gonna play some of the new Call of Duty. Waiting for all that to start. It should be fun. Still waiting the video from Dirt Bro not, yeah. And I definitely see that, Speed. That's the thing, and it's like I don't ever want to feel like, getting that feeling like where it starts to feel like a job. And even my coworker, who's now my coworker again, Bruno. You guys seen him in some of my earlier videos. And that was one of the things me and him had, because me and Bruno, we spent tons of time together, obviously on the road. And when I started this whole YouTube and was getting as things grew and grew and grew, and one thing he always told me all the time, he's like, dude, he's like, don't ever let it take over as a job, as you making you feel like a job. And that's the one thing I don't want to. And that's another reason, honestly, why I think I might cut down the frequency of videos. Because right now I've always been doing one every 2 days. And sometimes it gets a little harder, especially during wintertime. As you guys know, I know you guys that live, in the snow areas, it gets hard during the wintertime to make as much content because, as much as you might want to go out there and run in the snow, the car ain't going nowhere in 6 inches or a foot of snow, really. So it obviously gets tougher. So that's another reason. But I don't ever want this to feel like, it's a job and it's frustrating or irritating because like I have to do this and I have to do that, or I have to put together enough videos. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't ever get like that. So with that said, I am going to be, obviously, like I said, cutting down on the frequency of videos. And at the same time, it might give me a little more time to also try to put a little more time into editing and do some different stuff with editing like that. Because like if I'm putting together a bunch of footage and making not just a video for that week, I can spend a lot more time in editing and messing around with stuff and doing stuff. So I think all around it's going to be a big plus. I'm just wondering what day I want to decide to start doing videos, like whether or not a weekend would be better or midweek would be better. Because it seemed like Wednesdays and Saturdays were definitely the best days to always seem to do videos. Jeremy, are you really asking that question? Of course he hit himself. Speed is always hitting himself. He's either hitting something or someone. Frankly, I'm amazed he hasn't taken out his new mailbox with 3 degree north yet. It's one thing you can always count on is Speed's videos. Either it'll be raining rubber, there's going to be some sort of plants harmed in the making of that video, or there's going to be some sort of property damage, usually either to his place or his. I keep trying to convince Speed to jump over his house, and he hasn't. He won't entertain the idea with me yet. I told him if he got a nice size ramp, or maybe next time I'll drive up there and we'll bring up the new Fresh Park ramp. We'll set that thing up on your front curb. We'll get it over your house. Can we jump your house, Speed? What's on the back side of your house? Is there more houses we're going to land on now? That could be a problem. Honestly, maybe it's because of where I run my cars a lot of times at the motocross track. There's lots of room. You got lots of open spaces. I've taken my legs out a couple times. I've gotten hit really lightly or gotten skinned. But knock on wood, I haven't completely taken myself out yet. I've taken Trevor out. We've almost decapitated Trevor. But luckily, so far, that's been it. See, Speed? We want to see it. Let's do it. I can't tell you. See, I know, Speed. I want to see this. I think that road, because, I've seen your videos. If you line that up, and do a little bit of prep work, but you get that jump set up right at your curb. You get like a long chalk line or take a piece of chalk, draw a nice straight line, hit the center of that ramp. So, a nice long run, you can follow that line all the way into that ramp. And definitely with like that Fresh Park ramp, or if you build something big, something with a nice launch like that, I think you could definitely clear that thing. See, Black Sheep wants to see you jump the house. But we're not responsible. None of us are in any way responsible if you put a car through the window. But it will be entertaining. Yes, Jeremy. Trevor does, and there's so many times, guys, I have told Trevor flat, I'm like, dude, I don't think this is a good idea. You need to move to try to get a shot differently, somewhat safer. He's like, I'm fine. I want to try to get, because he loves slow motion shots. As you guys see, a lot of times, a lot of the footage we put in the videos, he gets some really great slow motion shots, and he wants to try to get them from different angles and stuff that obviously I can't get when I'm driving. So he likes to try to put himself sometimes in these very precarious spots. And it scares me because I'm like, he trusts my driving more than I trust my driving, clearly. Yeah, get the batteries charged. That's like, go have some fun. I'm probably going to hop off here pretty soon because I'm going to go grab some lunch. Or actually, I'm probably going to have to order some lunch. Get some stuff because hopefully my truck, they said my truck will take about another couple hours before it's done. Then I got to get taken back down there so I can get my truck picked up. And then I'm going to bring it back home tonight and fill it up with cars and batteries. Well, I'm not going to fill it up with batteries just yet, but fill the truck up with lots of cars and get ready to head out in the morning. Going to try to leave here probably around like somewhere between 7 and 8 a.m. And that'll put me out in Ohio to meet up with Kenny and Mike somewhere between, 10:30, 11 a.m. and go from there. That long run of YouTube is good. Yeah, Speed. I think that's definitely it. Sometimes it gets, honestly, like whenever I'm trying to put together a video every 2 weeks, Speed, it gets like a little frustrating. Just trying to keep up with that at times. There's certain things, everything always going on in everybody's lives, and can definitely put a big hindrance, whether it be weather, cars, things going on, it can affect that. And I don't ever want it to feel like that. So I'm going to, like I said, probably starting this week, I'm going to cut back to, at least for a while, or maybe for a while, just kind of cut back to that schedule of doing one, once a week type of thing. See how that goes. So I figured at that point, like I said, I'll be able to put a little more time into videos too. Maybe try to do a little more editing and cut some of the videos down as far as certain things going on. Because sometimes it's just my style, though, as far as how I just like to do my videos and how I've liked to do them from the start. I know a lot of people like editing your videos down where it's just jump, 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 jump. Maybe, 5 or 10 seconds of saying something and going back to all just jumps and just editing it together that way. And those videos are cool. I just always started out where it's I try to keep enough going on and jumping and running around, but also kind of just a commentary going on during my videos. And that's just how I started doing them. And I don't want to suddenly change how I do them. So I'm going to keep going the same way I am. But it was just like whenever Chad made his video, you guys noticed the video with Chad made. I made that a little differently. I did make it slightly more put together, more of just jumping and things happening, and did have a couple moments here and there of kind of chatting and talking about stuff. But at the same time, I put it together a little different. I like the way the video came out, but I'm not going to change it. I appreciate it. Thanks for dropping in, Black Sheep. I will see you tomorrow morning, buddy. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some carnage. Hopefully, everybody goes home in one piece. But yeah, guys, I think I am going to call it a day on the live here. I'm going to go ahead and get a few things together, and I'm going to go pick up my truck here shortly and have a little fun tonight, play a little Call of Duty. But I really appreciate all of you dropping in. I really do. I always appreciate chatting with everybody. Yeah, Alan, I hope to see you at some point. If you get back out there and start putting together some videos, I definitely love checking you out. But guys, appreciate you all dropping in today, saying hi, even though it's in the middle of a work day. And, it's fun. But we'll have some more stuff coming up here. And, as I start traveling again, might put together some little fun videos, and we go to some really cool places. Might put together some videos, so there might be a little mixture of things happening here and there. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. Y'all have a fun weekend. Hope you guys get to go out there and have some bash time. And I know we're going to have some fun tomorrow. We'll have lots of fun coming up this weekend. Oh, what's up, Dave from Hardcore? I see. I appreciate you dropping in, though, buddy. But yeah, we're going to call it a day, guys. I appreciate y'all stopping in and saying hi. So, guys, go out there, have some fun weekend. Enjoy the hobby. Have a few laughs, hopefully with some friends. But I will see y'all later. Peace out, guys.